It's Neil Atkinson, it's Paul Cope, it's Steven Gerrard's birthday, and it is in front of the Museum of Liverpool. And one day in the Museum of Liverpool, there will be an exhibition about Steven Gerrard. There will be. There has to be. Yeah, definitely. They've done John Lennon. They've got to do Steven Gerrard.
Saying Gerrard's on Lennon's level?
I'm saying that Gerrard's surpassed Lennon on numerous occasions. Yeah. Lennon has never, ever blabbed one in against West Ham in a
great shout.
Final.
It's a great shout.
Yeah.
I've never celebrated anything Lennon's done.
Yep.
In the same way I've celebrated stuff Steven Gerrard's done.
And I think that sets him apart. Yeah. So one day Steven Gerrard will be in there. But on his birthday, he's 39. And he gets older every year. And that is obviously such a mad thing to say. But what I mean is more like the idea of the distance back from the greatness of Gerrard. And I just sort of think, which one's your favourite? Of all the Gerrard eras, which is your favourite Steven?
The needle in me really likes right midfield, Steven.
Is that needle towards him as well?
Towards him, yeah. and because of how much I love Rafa, I just love the idea of him going, I'm a centre midfielder, and him going, you're not. What we're going to do is to prove it. We're going to play you right midfield, and you're going to have the greatest season of your life.
Yep.
You're going to score loads and loads of goals just to prove you're wrong. And then we might have a conversation later on about something else. But just for now, this is what we're going to do.
I think right midfield, Steven's unbelievable. Wins Player of the Year from right midfield.
Incredible.
19 goals from right midfield.
Do you reckon that pisses him off?
That's the one he got Player of the Year for?
That's the one he got Player of the Year for.
I think it probably does, yeah.
He only got it once, we were looking before. Only got Player of the Year once. I'm playing right midfield.
I'm playing right mid.
That must wind him up a bit.
I love the fact that the following season he comes in, he goes play centre mid and he only scores 9.
Yeah.
Liverpool do get to a Champions League final that season. That'd probably be what he'd say when he's watching this, which he will be, because it's one of the things he likes to do on his birthday is check out the Anfield rap.
Yeah.
But, he'll probably be saying, come on lads, hey, I did enough in centre midfield, but you love right midfield.
I love right midfield. I think if I'm not being needly about it, his years with playing off Torres were just...
So that's...
They were some of the happiest years of my life, I'll be honest. And even, I remember someone doing like images of them running through flower-filled fields together. Yeah. I just love that. Even talking about it now, I feel a little bit nostalgic and romantic.
They were great lads. I mean, the best Gerrard image is obviously the one with Alonso with his hands over his shoulder, which he captioned with "My hero, my mate," because all that sort of stuff. Alonso, Gerrard, and Torres. I love the 08-09 one, and the back end of 07-08 going into 08-09 is my favourite. And that's not centre mid either. I mean, let's be really clear. That's not centre mid, and he's just unbelievable. I think he gets 26 goals 08-09, and he's injured for the running. And people used to always say, what about, certainly opposition supporters, they'd say, what about Stevie me? As a clever pun around the concept of Stevie G. And I'd always be like, I wish he was more selfish. I wish he wanted to score more goals. I wish he wanted to give it the big one more often in this really weird way. And that, you can talk about Hollywood passes, but the best thing is to kick it in the goal. And I was like, Stephen, you're brilliant at kicking it in the goal. Why don't you just want to go and do that all the time rather than doing dog work back at centre mid?
Yeah, I mean, the whole Stevie me thing really does wear them with, especially with other fans of other clubs. Can you imagine if most people were as good as Steven Gerrard at anything? Imagine what they'd be like. Yeah. Pointing at your name on your back, you'd be doing it constantly. That's all I'd do. Just walk around going, you've seen this, seen who I am, seen what I did, look at this video. He's fucking brilliant, wasn't he? And even as you're talking, what's your favourite I'll tell you mine, and while you think of yours, favourite Gerrard moment of all time. As he's watching this, he might laugh at this, but of all of them, is the one away at Luton when we're breaking through and Alonso goes, and he's trying to get the ball off Alonso, and Alonso just kicks it in the goal from inside the zone half, and the footage of Gerrard during that scene is just incredible for me.
My favourite is the entirety of his performance away at Fulham 13-14. Where he plays the greatest assist anyone's ever played into the path of Daniel Sturridge for the opening goal, where it would have been just, like if Sturridge had missed, I think he would have had to turn to the bench and gone, come on, I've got to not just leave, I've got to put a transfer request in, I can't play the game again. To have not given that what it needed and stuck it in the back of the net, but he doesn't, he scores brilliantly. And then the penalty and then the celebration afterwards is for me, it's just, and I think that might even be the day afterwards when he does the interview and they talk about Suarez and Sturridge, and he says, what, you want to play 2-on-2 against these two? All the best. Like, that is your peak Steven Gerrard in the whole of his life moments. That's his day peak. If he didn't give that interview that day, that's his day peak.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, by then he's started turning into the statesman by then, hasn't he? Yeah. So that's another era of the life.
We're framing the exhibition that they're going to do.
We've got the different rooms for moving
through. I mean, we haven't touched on his early life, but they can sort all of that out. What do you think he does next? Do you think he gives Scotland another year? What do you think he does?
I think he's got to. Yeah, I think he'll want to win the league there, won't he? Before he leaves, I think he needs to do that. And who knows, that's to a certain degree, it's a bit unfair. And he knew the risk he was taking that job, because it's a bit out of his hands.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do if a club doesn't give you any money to spend on players and things like that. But yeah, I would imagine he'd do that. And then who knows? I mean, the dream is the dream, isn't it? We all know what that is.
We all know what that is indeed. One day that might happen. One day that will happen. And me and Paul Cope will talk at the opening of the Steven Gerrard exhibition in the Museum of Liverpool. And we'll probably just try and wind him up a little bit, but mainly because we love him.